I've spent a bit of time making these in Inkscape today, and I'm just about to run them off in the Cricut machine and do a little bit of creating. Hi everyone, and welcome to Creating with Ali. If you're new to the channel, I do videos on scrapbooking, card making, and painting, and all sorts of other things, so don't forget to subscribe and stick around if you like what I do. Today I created an SVG file on my Cricut, and I've cut it out, and this is what it's looking like. It's actually a wine topper, so that's what we're going to make today. So I've got some wine bottles there and a couple of tags. And this video is going to be about setting these up and decorating these up. And when I work out how to do it, I'll leave the file for you. So if you do have a Cricut, you can download this file to make it yourself, or you can download the picture file so that you can just cut it out and make it yourself also. So there we go. And these will go over the top of a wine bottle, but they need to be scored first. And just to score across the top, and the reason why you do that is because when it sits on the wine bottle, it sits over the top of the bottle like so, and this is the part here that we're going to decorate today. And I'll get my score tool. Just make sure that score is set. Like that. So I'm going to have the 2 wine bottles on this very first card. And I've got some stamps here. Pop this in behind so you can see it. So these ones here are from My Favourite Things. You can get a die cut, much like the SVG that I made today, that goes along with this. But I'm going to use some of these, which I've used before, to create the wine topper for today. You can make these big or small. You just need to be aware of how big you're making that hole. So I did make these quite large. They can go a little bit smaller and still fit over the top of the bottle, but if you make them too small, obviously they're not going to. Little projects just like this are really good for using up bits of scrap paper that you may have on hand. So any of those little pieces you can use to create all sorts of different backgrounds and embellishments as you're making little projects like this. Also making some good use of some washi tape here. I continued my use of small scraps for the fronts of the bottles, and I just rounded the corners with my scissors to make them look more like the labels that you'd see on a real bottle. I'm not going to put anything on these labels. I'm just going to keep them pretty much the way that they are. What I did do though was grab out my little kit of metallic markers. Found the gold was still working, that was a bonus, and just coloured in the tops of the bottles to make them look like they had the gold twist caps. I'm sorry this is a little off camera, but I'm going to embellish one of the stamps here. I'm just using some Versamark and some white embossing powder, and I'm going to heat that up, and then I'm going to fussy cut around the outside of this and add it to the front of the bottles with some 3-dimensional tape so it pops out from the wine topper itself. So here I'm just finishing up the tag with some embellishments. Of course it's got to be the jewels around the edges just to give it a bit of bling, and this is the first tag finished. Now we're going to do a second one. So I'm continuing my mission to use some scraps here with these wine toppers, but I was getting a little ambitious. I cut strips from one of the pieces of paper, and my plan was to weave them with the washi tape. So you'll see me managing this here. So I just put some washi tape down, and I was doing sort of an over-under pattern here with some of the strips that I had. They weren't even, it didn't really matter. It wasn't though, if you know me and my scrapbooking, I'm not a real perfectionist. I like things to be looking good, but I'm not too fussed if they're not exactly right. And then I did another strip of washi tape here so I can get that sort of weaving effect. A bit like the one you did it when we're at school. We're always weaving things at school during craft for some reason. And just popping that down. I thought this just gave the front of the wine topper just something a little bit different. And then I had these Kaisercraft rhinestone flowers. These have been in my stash for a very, very long time. I'm going to use those in a second. Before I do that though, I'm just going to pop one of those pieces of scrap onto the wine bottle and use my metallic marker to also do the wine cap like I did on the last one. I'm going to stick that one down. And then with the flower, I did just place it on first, and then I thought the flower got lost. It absolutely lost on the actual topper itself. So I decided to pop it onto some paper and then cut out around the outside of the rhinestones. And I thought that this gave it a much, much better look. And because I had two of these, I made a second flower using a different colour in much the same way. Again, cutting around the outside of that. And these made some really pretty embellishments for this particular wine topper. So I popped these onto the front with some 3-dimensional tape. I'm just trying to get through this roll. I've had it for a little while now and I'm finding it really hard to get the red sticky off the back of it. So I'm trying to use it up so that I can go and purchase myself a new one of those. So with my metallic marker, I grabbed it and I did a few dots around the outside of the actual label itself. Not writing anything in the label, just wanted to jazz that up a little bit. What I did do though is I popped in a heart. So I drew a heart in it later, which you'll see. Again, using some of the black scrap I had lying around, I created another sentiment for the top of the wine topper. Versamark ink with white embossing powder. I think it says a toast to the life. No, a toast to the host, sorry. A toast to the host. These stamps came from My Favourite Things. Had them for a very, very long time. Again, lots of things in my stash I've had for ages. So I'm really, really wanting to get into some projects and get rid of, or not get rid of it, but, you know, use it. So it's not just sitting on the shelf. It's my mission for this year. And you'll see me here, I'll choose the little metallic marker I used for the outside and I drew a little heart on the bottle. I just thought that gave it just that little extra touch that it needed. And we're just about done here. I'm just finishing up the second wine topper with a little black pen around the heart just to make it pop a little bit. And there you have it. There is our second wine topper, looking quite sparkly I must say. And we have our 2 here completed for the day. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more craft videos just like this. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.